Hey lovers, Katie here, joining you for our daily self-love practice. Having a little, am I live on Instagram? I think I am. Well, I think it says I am. I'm getting a weird message. Hold on. Live. I think I'm live. Instagrammers, please let me know. Hey Lindy, good to see you again. I love the return visitors. Now, let me just check. Is Instagram actually working? I don't know. It looks different to usual. Hi Rebecca, how you doing? Good to have you. I'm in a conundrum. I don't know if my Instagram feed is working or not. It looks different. I don't know. Good to have you guys though. It's a cold, cold, cold day out there. Hey Fee, good to see you. Fiona, you usually join me on Instagram. Are you on Facebook because Instagram's not working by any chance? Good morning. Because it looks weird. I don't know. Hold on, I don't know. Let me just check my settings. Oh, here we go. Hold on. I don't know if it's working. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to see if I can get Instagram up. Hold on a moment. Live on Instagram. I don't think it's working. Yeah, Instagram not live. Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? I wonder why it's being really tricky. Maybe we'll just be here today, but it's kind of a shame. Yeah, thanks, Fee, if you don't mind. It's forcing you all onto Facebook, isn't it? There's a conspiracy going on. Hold on. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Sorry, I feel like I'm wasting your time. I'm sorry. Thank you for being patient with me while I try and figure this out. Oh, here we go. There we are. We are now live on Instagram. I don't know what that hiccup was. That's weird. But here we be. Hello, my beauties, lovers. Florence is there joining. Great. So we're working on both Facebook and Insta. Good, good, good. Really good to be with you guys today. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Who's joined? Lindsay, hello. Fee, you're over there now. That's awesome. Mrs. Lambert Medway, my goodness, hello. It's been a long time. Joe Fry, yeah, great. I'm glad Instagram's finally working. So good to have you all. Lindsay's return, that's awesome. Lindy, yeah, oh yeah, I love this. Thank you everybody for trying to help me with my tech. Pamela, hello, good to see you. Oh, this is so lovely. I love joining you guys every morning. I mean, I don't like getting up early, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm because I've committed to being with you guys at 8 o'clock every morning and committed to my own practices before I join you, I'm having to get up early. And it's not like me to do that. But I'm enjoying it. I'm loving seeing you. And I've got to say, this is a complete win-win because as I'm being here with you and kind of just leading you through a process to set you up for the day, I'm receiving so much. Like, this is really good for me. It definitely helps me to start my day feeling very clear and focused, not least connected. Like, it just feels so good to connect with you. Maybe I'll think about moving these over onto Zoom so I can, and then record here as well so that I can see your faces, because it would be really, really nice to actually see you there. And maybe even better do a little bit of coaching, you know, to actually have some back and forwards dialogue, because this is just all kind of coming at you. But I know you're there, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Like I said, I really am receiving so much from this. So let's just check in. How are you feeling, guys? How are you feeling? What do you need? That was yesterday's question as well. And this is kind of a question that I hope that you'll be asking yourself every single day until the end of time. When you wake up, before you start scrolling on anything, or kind of even talking to anybody, just take a moment, even with your eyes closed in bed in the morning. How do I feel? What do I need? How do I feel? What do I need today? What do I need so that I can fill myself up and be the best version of me for the people and the projects and everything that I love, that I care about, so that they get the best of me? So how are you guys feeling this morning? Do you want to share in the comments? Let me just do a quick scroll here. Natasha, so good to have you. Rebecca, I better get dressed for those. Yeah, so you're forcing me to get dressed. The joke amongst my family and friends, and even with our building contractors, because we've had a lot of work done recently, is that I'm the one that's always in her robe. Maybe I should join you one morning and just be in my robe. Don't see us that early. I'm in bed. Yeah, that's usually me, honey. I quite often start my work day in bed, actually, with a cup of tea and my laptop. So how are you feeling today? How are you feeling? I noticed yesterday that because I made the very conscious choice to limit how much social media and news I'm absorbing, I was feeling a lot better, less overwhelmed. Like I was explaining yesterday, our little brains, our human brains are only designed to take on so much. And by limiting my exposure, I definitely felt like I was taking care of myself. I felt way more balanced. I've also started to notice how interesting it is that we can get used to a new way of being in the world very quickly. I don't know if you've noticed that. The shock and horror of the uncertainty that was even just 7 days ago, I personally feel like I'm kind of in a new stride, and there's a normality to going to Sainsbury's and there being no food on the shelves, right? It's bizarre how quickly we adapt, and I think that's something to really acknowledge right now. Just how clever and adaptable and amazing we humans are. And in the face of adversity, how wonderfully we can come together as a community. We have great community spirit going on our street now. I took the initiative to do a little letterbox drop. I wrote it, printed it. My son went and did it, which I think is really great for him. I think a younger generation are learning a lot from this experience. And we just did a letterbox drop to our street, so about 40 houses, just saying, I gave them all my phone number, and I've set up a WhatsApp group, and anybody in the community who wants to be on our WhatsApp group are welcome to. And those that aren't on WhatsApp, because we've got quite a few elderly people, they're just calling me, and we're now connected, and they know if they need anything, they can call me. And I know I'm connected to a WhatsApp group of the street, so I can reach out and ask people for help if I personally can't be the help that that person needs when they call me. And it felt so good to do it. What felt better was the response, just having conversations with complete strangers, receiving text messages from complete strangers who very soon won't be strangers anymore to me. And them saying, thank you so much. This feels so good. It feels so good to be connected. And like, it doesn't matter from what walk of life you are. And there's so many different walks of life on our one street, so many different types of people, ages, stages in life, all sorts. And all of us are the same. We all feel really good to be connected. And there's even talk of a street party when this is all over. So that will be really fun. So we are being called right now to connect with others, and we can't do that fully. We can't do that authentically. We can't do that from a place of real love when we're not filling ourselves up fast. So let me take a look at the comments. Natasha, morning, Katie, you're amazing to reach out. I'm feeling very alone, sad. I don't have my own family to hibernate with. I feel you, honey. Yeah, I feel you. I completely honor you that you would share that with us. Thank you. And to be really clear, you are not alone. You are not alone. I'm so glad you've joined us this morning. We got you, darling. We got you. Lindy starting the day in a positive mode. That's great. Natasha, don't want to leave my home in London, but don't want to be alone, so we'll drive to my parents' home in Oxfordshire today. Beautiful. I think that's a gorgeous idea. I think it's definitely a time to be with the people we love in the safest way that we can manage that. So I'm really glad you're doing that. It's not a time to cut yourself off if you have the option to be around people. Fee, that's an amazing idea. The amount of kindness is incredible. Yeah, there's a lot of kindness going around now, right? It's beautiful. Morning, Natalie. Nice to see you. Lindy, so good to reach out and connect. I'm making sure I ring a few people every day. Yeah, that's awesome. See, we need to do this, but we can't do it if we're depleted, right? We've got to fill ourselves up. So in addition to asking you, how do you feel today and what do you need? My next question is, who can you serve? And being really clear here, like, who can you serve? Maybe it's you. Maybe the answer today is, my truth is, I just need to serve me. I need to be there for me. That has been the case for me for quite a few days. And then I felt very called to start doing these every morning, which feels really good. And it's coming from a place of just pure like goodness. It just feels good. And then I had the idea to do the letterbox drop to the neighbors. But I had to wait until it genuinely felt like it was coming from just a really like an overflow place. And yesterday was that day. Today we're doing a different letterbox drop for a charity in the town. So what do you choose today? Like, how could you be of service today? If this experience is teaching us anything, it's about this idea that we are all one and that we are all connected, and we're actually being given an opportunity, and I'm wondering if you can feel it, to actually experience the truth of that every day. I'm really more and more experiencing the truth that we are all one, we are all the same. I'm finding myself, you know, I was in the pound shop the other day, like looking for stuff that I couldn't get anywhere else, and I found myself just talking to random people. Whatever supermarket I go in, I'm talking to people. I'm having a smile and a laugh and a joke, and we're connecting. I never talk to anyone when I go into the supermarket. I'm like, I go in, I put my head down, and I do my thing, get my stuff, get out of there. We're connecting. It's so gorgeous. So there's good coming out of this. So how can you serve today? And the other piece I felt really called to just share before we dive into our journaling practice and before we dive into our meditation this morning, something I'm also noticing is, while there is kindness and compassion and connection going on, which is wonderful, I'm also witnessing people and hearing stories of people in a very reactionary state right now, which is something that we've got to have a lot of compassion for, and for ourselves when we go into reaction as well. Like, I've had my moments of reaction. Like I was saying, I'm hearing stories of people like doing things and saying things and kind of being mean, being a bit bitchy. I'm seeing online too, going into their victim. So their victim archetype is stepping forward. And I think when people around you are kind of maybe lashing out or going into martyr or victim, or like just kind of the more disempowered behavioral patterns, rather than be annoyed by them, I really do feel like it's an invitation to be compassionate, because what's happening is like, it's just kind of for an unconscious person, and we all slip into unconsciousness, we all do. It's very easy to go into a reactionary state when we're scared. So while the argument someone might be having with you or the comment they're making might seem to have nothing to do with anything going on in the world right now and anything to do with their fear, the truth is, we are all, I don't care how enlightened you are, I think we're all on some level under the surface experiencing some level of fear right now, right? I think we all are. And depending on how conscious we are to ourselves and how compassionate we are with ourselves, very likely we're going to be in a reactionary mode, and we could be lashing out or going into victim. So I would invite you to be compassionate and consider that someone's behavior might have nothing to do with what they're saying or what's actually going on or anything you've done. They're just in fear. So it's about kind of just holding the space. I think there's two opportunities within this. There's one when we personally go into reaction. And we know when we're doing it, especially if you're on this call, you're a pretty darn conscious, awake person. You know when you go into reactionary behavior and you know that it doesn't feel comfortable. I think you probably know, but it's good to remember that when you're reacting, it's an invitation for you to go within. Well, this whole experience is an invitation to go within and look at what needs healing. What could I pay attention to? What needs some acknowledgement? And what part of me needs some love right now? So that's the first invitation. And the other is when other people are going into reaction and you feel like it's affecting you. Just, first of all, it's a compassion piece for them. But what about them that they've just done or said has triggered you? Because however it has triggered you is an invitation again for you to go within and heal something, acknowledge something, perhaps change your own response. I know that some of the reactionary behavior I've experienced around me is, while it is my first instance has kind of annoyed me, I've had to have then compassion for what's going on for them. But then it's that's the learning piece within me. Like, in my experience at the moment, what I'm really learning is having more compassion for other people. That's what I am being invited to develop and grow more of within my own self, is compassion for others. So I wonder if that resonates with any of you. Natalie saying, my fear manifests as a desire to be distracted all the time. Yeah, you're not alone, honey. I get that. I have been experiencing that this week in particular. I've been busy. It's funny, my workload hasn't changed. It's actually increased with all of this going on, because I already have a business that has me work from home and work online. Hey Liz, good to have you. And Keely's joined. Hello. What was I saying? What were you saying? Oh yeah, but I'm finding myself very easily distracted. But just as the week's coming to a close now, the distraction is easing, and for sure committing to your meditation, committing to your journaling, committing to strengthening these self-love muscles is going to help you to feel less distracted, for sure. But just honor it, acknowledge it. It is what it is. This is, we are going to feel distracted, aren't we? Okay, so journaling. Shall we dive in? Have you all brought your pen and piece of paper? Yeah, you know the drill. So same as we've been doing every day. This is the process. If you would like to switch up the process in any way, you're so welcome. But now we have a few minutes together to do some journaling. So, and I'll read the notes in a second. So step one, the brain dump. Okay, so those of you who've been joining me every day, hi Finn. We start with the brain dump. So what is going on in here? We need to release. It's a heavy energy. It's a busy energy. It's a lot of noise. And if we want to solve problems and respond rather than react, so that's kind of feeling like the theme of today. If we want to respond rather than react to life, we've got to acknowledge what's going on in here and move down into our heart space where we can respond to life. We can respond to life from our heart, and we can respond to life when we're being guided by our spiritual self. But we cannot respond from up here. So the brain dump, step one of your journaling practice, is to write. What's the noise? Just offload it. Remember the analogy that I shared yesterday of the train track that's on a loop going around and around and around and around in your head. You've got to lift one of the tracks up, turn it outwards so the thoughts can go around and out, around and out. So with your pen on paper, you're just releasing that energy, just releasing it, letting it go. So maybe you could write what you're angry about, what you're scared about. You could dump a to-do list. It's really hard to sit in meditation when you're running a to-do list. Maybe it's a conversation you need to have with someone you need to prepare for. You can just dump that out on paper now so it's not running around in your head. How you're feeling, just release and write. like acknowledge there's something very powerful about saying, you know, I am statements are really powerful, and we're going to use an I am statement in our meditation today. So, you know, I am scared. I am easily distracted. I am nervous. I'm excited. I am looking for opportunity, like whatever it is. I do tend to find that the brain dump is usually kind of the heavier stuff, though, just that needs to be released. So just give you a second longer to write. Hi, Jane. So keep brain dumping while I read the comments. Does me totally. I find some real support on social media, but some things are triggering me. Work for me. Yeah, totally. Definitely a lot of triggers happening on social media right now. And everyone's an expert right now. Yeah, I'm planning to take time off from work. Beautiful. I like that. Good, good. Okay, so once you finished your brain dump, and as I've been saying every day, you know, you can continue to do that throughout the day whenever. This is such a great practice. Like sometimes in the middle of the day, something will happen and I'll get triggered. And I'm like, I can either carry that with me for the rest of the day, maybe carry it in tomorrow and the next day, ruin my sleep over it. Or in the moment, I can just grab my journal and say, that person made me feel, even though we know no one can make us feel anything, but they made me feel this and I felt that and I'm really angry about that and I can't believe they said that and I wish I'd said that and I wish I was, and I just dump it out on a piece of paper, and I've fully acknowledged myself in the moment, and I can just leave it. Does that make sense? It feels so good to do a brain dump. Do them regularly. So carry on throughout the day if you need to do more of this. If you're watching the recording and you're not finished with your brain dump, just press pause, keep writing, and when you're ready, join us back in, because step 2 of your journaling practice is to write 3 things that you're grateful for. I heard something about gratitude being the perfect antiviral medicine, which I loved. I completely agree with. Gratitude, the perfect antiviral. So what are you grateful for? Remember, where we throw our attention is what we're creating. And remember, what we think about creates how we feel. So we feel our thinking. And the longer we're feeling rubbish and toxic, we're making ourselves sick. So knowing this, and knowing also, and this has been a theme in all the teachings this week, is we can hold 2 things at the same time. So while it's true that there's tough stuff going on for you, and worries and concerns, there's also a lot of beauty and opportunity and just kindness going on. So what are you grateful for? I just woke up my son because he's going to join me on this letterbox drop in town this morning when I finish this call. And he didn't want to be waken up. But that moment of I just love it. Even though he's about to turn 13, that moment of just waking him up, just gently, just stroking his head, giving him a kiss. Oh, it fills my heart with so much joy. So I'm so grateful for that this morning. I'm grateful for my cat who's on the floor there. She might come join us in a minute. Grateful for so much. Grateful for the kindness and the community. When you've written your gratitudes, can we move on? And by the way, feel free to share them in the comments. I'd love to read what you're grateful for. If you just write one thing. It'd be really nice to share it with each other. And then can you write what you're proud of yourself for? What makes you proud of you? This is such a powerful self-acknowledgement piece. So important to honor yourself. What are you proud of? I'm proud of myself for getting up early every morning so I can be here with you guys, dressed, out of my robe. I'm proud of my resilience. I'm proud of my journey. Actually, speaking of journeys, I've had a few clients actually reach out to me and say, and this is so lovely, reach out to me and say that because of their commitment to their personal growth work over the years and the work they've done with me, they feel like they can deal with what's happening now better. And I really resonate with that. I feel like Katie sort of 10, 15 years ago would not be dealing well with what's going on in the world right now. I'd be on the floor with anxiety. It feels really, really good to know that the work that I've done on myself, my commitment to me, all that I've learned and healed and how I've grown enables me to handle situations in life like this. So I feel really proud of that journey. And it's really nice to hear other women that I've worked with, and that, you know, they've not just done work with me, they've done all sorts of different modalities, but they're recognizing now the strength they have because they have such a deep connected relationship with themselves. So they're responding more than reacting to life. So, and I'm imagining a lot of you here are in that boat. So the next thing I want you to write is 3 things that you value about yourself. Yeah, so what do you value about you? Oh, we're going to have a visitor. Here she is. Hi, Lena. What do you value about yourself? Is it your humor? Is it your strength? Is it your vulnerability? Is it your ability to feel all of your range of emotions? What do you value about yourself? And please feel free to share here. It's really nice to read your comments. And when you've written what you value about yourself, this is when, and I'm wondering again, can you notice that we've started the call, you're up high in your head, your energy was heavy up here, you're releasing it, and through this line of questioning about gratitude and what you're proud of and what you value, you're moving down into your heart space. And the connection there allows you now to start to connect with your spiritual self, your spiritual truth, and that beautiful inner wisdom that you have. So now's a chance for you just to connect in with, and you were asking yourself earlier, you know, how do I feel? What do I need? And how can I serve? So I wonder, oh, cats go, no, Luna, go down, go on. So I wonder, with that in mind, what do you need support with? Like, what could you ask life to help you with? What could you ask the universe, God, source energy, whatever you want to call it? This power so much greater than you that you are always co-creating with, because you're half human, you're half spirit. Like, we are both. Again, this duality, we're both. So this energy that you're co-creating with, ask it for what you need, and remember the prayer. It will go something like this: even though I don't know how to experience or receive or have ... I'm willing to be shown. Even though I don't have the answers, I'm willing to be shown. You know, I remember when I was single, I was like, God, where is my man? I'm willing to be shown. Yeah, whatever the question is, just write it and release it. Just allow life to support you and guide you. And know that as we go into meditation now, you're kind of opening up that side of the brain that does connect with life and the universe and all that is, and that will be listening to you. It's getting messages popping through from neighbors now, I can see. So yeah, life wants to help you. What do you need? Knowing that you're about to enter a state of real connection with your spiritual truth and with life. Okay. So are you ready to do a little meditation? Yeah. All right. So let's start with those of you who've been joining me every day. Let's start with the straw breath. Yeah, do you remember the straw breath? So you're going to imagine that you have a straw running all the way up through the line of your body. So starting at your perineum, your root chakra. Imagine there's a straw beginning there, going all the way up the center line of your body and out the center of your head, out the crown chakra. So Imagine that you're just pulling air up that straw. So when you're breathing in, you're drawing air up through the straw and you're building it up through your body and you're building the air up into your head, and you're going to hold it in your head and hold the air in your head as long as you can and build the pressure up and feel that pressure building more and more and more in your head. And then you're going to, when you can't hold it any longer, you're going to blow the air out the roof of your head, a bit like a whale blowing out through that hole in its head, right? But with force, with energy, with determination and intention, yeah? And you're going to keep doing this process, pulling the air all the way up through the body, up that center line, holding it in your head for as long as you possibly can, allowing the pressure to build, and then blowing it out the top of your head. And then you're going to add to that, you do this in your own time, you're going to add to that, when you begin the breath in from your root chakra, you're going to, at the same time, acknowledge everything that you've been feeling. And this might have been part of your brain dump. So you're going to acknowledge the worries, the concerns, the anxieties, the conversations that you didn't have, that you should be having, that you wish you'd got better, you know, all that ruminating. Pull it up, 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 up into your body, up, 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 up into your head. Hold it in your head for as long as you possibly can, and then blow all of that heaviness out through the roof of your head. And just keep doing that for another minute. Building it up, building it up, building it up, building it up, and then blowing it out the roof of your head. Yeah. So all the worries, all the anxieties, all the heaviness, the distractions. Build it up, build it up, build it up, and release. And notice now that every time you do this, it feels a bit easier. And the pressure in your head feels a little less each time you do it. Allow yourself to feel the release of just letting it all go. Yeah. So build it up, and release. And with your eyes closed, when you finish that process of the straw breathing, which I've come to call it, I now want you to do the noisy breath. So the noisy breath, if you've been joining me, that's the one where we breathe in and we sigh loudly as we breathe out, and we feel the vibration in our heart. Actually feels nice to breathe in through your nose and then out through your mouth. It feels so good. Do it again, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And as your heart vibrates, I wonder if you can feel your energy just sinking in to your heart space. And notice just how at home you feel there. It feels good, doesn't it? And just a little mindfulness practice now that you're breathing into your body, you're feeling more at home, just to bring you even more into the present moment. Just going to check in with your 5 senses. So we're doing your touch sense first. So feel your feet on the ground or wherever they're touching at the moment. Your bottom on the seat that you're in, perhaps your back against the chair, your clothes on your skin, maybe the air breathing in and out of your nostrils, maybe the hair on your head, perhaps your hair is touching your neck and shoulders. Maybe you've got a cat on your lap like I often do. So, speaking of the devil, here she comes. Just feel everything that you're feeling on your skin. And then notice what you're seeing. It's likely to be black because your eyes are closed, but I've got some light dappling through my eyelids. Notice what you can smell. Notice what you can taste. It Might be a cup of tea you just had, maybe you just brushed your teeth. And then what do you hear? What's going on around you? Perhaps the birds. I can hear the whirring of my laptop. I can hear my cat settling in front of me. What do you hear? And just take a moment to acknowledge how good it feels to be fully present in your own body, in your own skin. How good it feels to be comfortable with your breath. How good it feels to have taken some time to love yourself enough to acknowledge and release the heavier thoughts that you know are making you feel not so great. And you've dumped them and you've breathed them out. Take a moment to feel proud of yourself for loving yourself enough to be here in this moment just for you. How good does that feel to be here just for you? Taking some time just for you. So great. And I want you to choose now an I am statement, otherwise known as an affirmation. And it's I am, and then you're going to insert one word. So reflecting back on how do you feel and what do you need today? What is it that you really need today? Is it strength? Is it compassion? Is it patience? Is it kindness? Is it assertiveness? Bravery? What do you need? Maybe you just need to feel safe. I am safe. It's always my go-to, that one. So what do you need? I'm just going to spend a few moments now just relaxed in your body, relaxed in your breath, just repeating your I am statement. It's like a whisper. Imagine it's just whispered in your ear. And breathe your statement into your heart. Hear it whispered in your ear. Breathe it into your heart. I am. I am. I am. Thoughts will come, and just notice that they've interrupted your statement and return to your I am. And feelings might surge up. Just allow them. Allow yourself to feel what you feel and continue to bring your intention, your attention back to your I am. I am. I am. I am. I am. Just take this precious moment now to connect with your spiritual self. You're in a beautiful receptive mode. So ask your spirit, what do you need to know today? What do you need to remember today? What does your spirit need you to know today? And I invite you to put your hand on your heart now and bring a little smile to your face. And just connect with the love in your body. Connect with the love in your heart. Can you feel that? As you feel it, allow your smile to get bigger. And imagine that love is like a beautiful golden yellow light emanating from your heart. And allow that light to expand to fill your entire chest cavity, your entire torso. And see that light running down both arms into both feet, into both hands, and then down both legs into both feet. And then feel that golden light filling your entire head. And that light is filling your whole body. There's no space for darkness. You're completely, utterly filled to the brim with this golden light that is love. And that light now has no choice but to overflow. And it's seeping out of the pores of your skin. See that light seeping out, the overflow. And see that light touching everything around you. It's starting to fill the room that you're in. It's filling the house that you're in, the building that you're in. It's going out into the street that you're on. And see that light just growing in momentum and brightness and power. It doesn't dim as it expands. It seems to get brighter and stronger. And it's expanding throughout your entire neighborhood. It's expanding to touch your entire country. Can you see that? Feel it? And it's expanding now to cover the entire continent that you're on. It's getting brighter and brighter and more powerful and more full of love. Love is that powerful, and it's now expanding to touch every country and every continent and every ocean on the planet. That bright light is wrapping and enveloping the entire earth and beyond. Just feel how good it feels to have filled yourself up first, and to know that there is overspill, and it can and will touch others way beyond your knowledge. You have no idea how far your love, your own self-love, your own self-compassion, your own self-care, how far that is reaching to heal others and to heal our planet. Breathe that in. Take a moment to be proud of yourself, to committing to loving yourself and having this ripple effect across the world. Breathe in all of your gratitude, all that you are proud of and all that you valued about yourself. Breathe that in and know that you're sharing that with so many others, more than you realize. When you're ready, bring your attention back to the room. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your bottom on your seat. Maybe start to kind of stretch, twist and turn your feet and ankles. Have a good stretch. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Ooh. Oh, that felt good. So good. So good. How you're feeling? Feeling good? Hey? I'm feeling pretty good. So glad to have you. I can see a few people have joined later, and that's okay. I'd love for you to go back and watch this from the beginning. The replay will remain in Facebook and forever. And I have finally figured out how to save my Instagram lives. So the first couple didn't get saved after they were on my stories, but now they're all moving over to my IGTV because Mama is figuring out her tech finally. Fiona, fantastic and so relaxing. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Natalie, so good. More in my heart. Amen to that. Florence, superb. I love that. I'm so glad to have you. Rebecca, that was amazing. Such a release. Thank you. Yay. So go share that with the world, people. Put yourself first and then share it. Okay. I love you loads. Thank you for joining. I think I might take a break over the weekend because I'm going to have some sleep-ins. I might still do some Facebook and Instagram lives just haphazardly, but nothing planned. And but I am here for you. You know how to reach me if you have any questions or need anything or would like me to bring anything new to these sessions next week, because I will continue them next week. I'm all ears. I'm here to help and serve and just hang out with you guys. Let's start our days feeling great. Sending you loads of love. Mwah. I'm off to do some letterbox dropping. And share this with your friends. The world needs this stuff, right? Okay, have a great day. Love you lots. Bye.